What's good, everybody? Welcome to Ben's Blades. I hope you're all doing really well. In this video, we're going to have a really unpleasant conversation about this knife right here. This is a Hinderer Eklipse. This is a Gen 2 Eclipse with the tri-way pivot system. It's not just any Eclipse, though. This is a busted up Eclipse. I got this off of eBay at an auction for $200 flat. And now I know why. Just look at that blade. What did you do to this knife? How do you even do that? What happened? Holy shit. That is crazy. Flip it over here really quickly. It almost looks at certain angles like it was serrated. What were you trying to slice with this knife? Unobtainium? Holy hell. This is unbelievable. So I got this in the mail and was pretty livid. The dude clearly photoshopped out just how bad a shape the blade was in. So I got bamboozled, of course. And I reached out to Hinderer, and they actually threw me a bone. They were like, we don't like to do this, but given your set of circumstances, we will. Send it in, and we're going to fit it with a new blade. So that is the task that I have before me. I have to pack this knife up and send it over to Hinderer, and there's about a 3 to 6 month lead time. But they are going to fit it with a new Swedge blade. This is a Swedge Eclipse, and they just happen to have one just hanging out for warranty purposes. This is not quite what this is. This is not warranty work per se, but they did agree to replace the blade with a new stone-washed Swedge blade that should look exactly like this, on the condition that I pay $165 for the blade, and I wait the 3 to 6 month lead time. So let's try to get some better footage of exactly how bad a shape this blade is in. Like, there is no sharpening that out. Even if I wanted to. That is craziness. All right, so that's what I have to do. If I want this Eclipse, my first Hinderer Eclipse, not to be a total loss, then I have to send it into Hinderer and pay the $165 to have the blade fitted and replaced. So that is exactly what I am going to do today. Functionally, the knife is fine. Let's do the usual behavior check on it. We have a blade that is almost drop shut. You can shake it shut really easily. It's on bearings. I did open it up and check. We have no blade play up and down or side to side. It is rock solid, and the blade is dead center. And the detent is fine. So it's just one of those things where I guess the knife was just used for crap that you're never supposed to use a knife for. I mean, it does have snail trail scratches and stuff like this on the stonewashed titanium. This definitely was a user, and once I get it back, I'm going to have it be a user as well. But I'm not going to do that kind of crap to it. God, no. I'm going to take care of this knife once I get it back. So it's going to go to Hinderer to have the blade replaced. And I will come back to you when the knife gets back to me. Okay, this place is dusty. Holy hell. Oh, I haven't been here in a while. If you haven't noticed, I haven't put out a video in... It's been a minute. I got a second job, and I've been really busy doing other things, and I have a bunch of other knife projects, mostly involving crossbar and lock knives, like Benchmades, that I've just been dreading. Like, ugh, I really don't want to do this. But I figured I'd put this on camera for you, since I did record the first half of the video, the Hinderer Eklipse that had the bad blade. Hinderer told me a 3 to 6 month lead time, and it was just over 4 months. So about 4 months and a week. So that is well within what they said. So they are on time per their own standards. Interestingly, I sent it to Hinderer without a box, and it came back with one, for whatever that's worth. I have had this thing open already. I had to open it to do the thumbnail, but it came back in the mail just like this. Hinderer Eklipse with a new swedge blade. So we're going to take it out, take a quick look at it, and then we're going to take it apart and clean it up and oil it, and we're going to put a new scale on it. We're going to put a new pocket clip on it. Hinderers, for some reason, always come tip down, and they're flippers. Like, I send it to them tip up, and it comes back tip down. Like, Hinderer, you guys are goofy. Like, why do you do that? Anyway, I'm not going to bitch about it because they did throw me a bone by giving me a new blade when they didn't have to do that, even though I paid for it. It's not generally something they allow, but they were sympathetic to my situation, so here it is. A brand spanking new Magna Cut Eklipse Swedge blade. Wonderful stuff from Rick Hinderer Knives. You gotta love them. That blade is perfect. So, we are going to take it and tear it apart, do some upgrades to it per my OCD. I always have to do certain things to my knives to make them just the way I want them. So that's what we're going to do today. What do we need? What do we need? I'm going to do... This is a T6. This was just kind of sitting there from when I did the thumbnail. Usually it's sitting right there. So I need a T6. I need the Hinderer Amorers tool. I'm going to take this out because I find it easier to deal with it without it. I need a spanner bit. Actually, I'm going to take this out and do the spanner bit first. And we're going to do slip 2000 725 like we always do. Shop rag, of course. And yeah, let's get this thing apart. So what I normally do is I do this with the blade open because it seems to be the best way to do it. And then I usually hold on the flathead side and screw on the spanner side is usually what seems to be the easier way to do it. But holy crap, they have this thing tight. Jesus. Wow. Okay. Well. God, Hinderer, what the hell did you do? Okay. It looks like I actually need the Mac Tools mini ratchet, which is interesting. So, let's give that a try. Got the Mac Tools mini ratchet right here for much needed torque. And so it should be lefty-loosey, of course. God damn. Maybe if I just try this without it. No? Okay, well, crap. Maybe if I screw this back on and just hold with the key ring, I'll be able to get enough torque on this that I can turn from the other side. No, that's not working either. All right, I'm going to close this because I don't want to screw up a new blade. Wow. Okay, that's not working. Oof. Let me try the shop rag. Just bundle that up to get a little bit extra purchase on it. Stuff like this that makes me worried that I'm going to mar the G10 and stuff like that. Hinderer, what did you do? There we go. The hell? Okay. Now, I feel like this is clear of the G10, so I don't feel like such a problem turning it. It's still tight. Okay. Oh, no wonder. No. For a second I thought I was tightening it and that was the whole problem. No, it doesn't appear that way. God damn. That was a pain in the ass. Well, at least they're enthusiastic. You got to give them that. Okay. I guess put the Mac Tools mini ratchet away. I'm not going to need this spanner bit. Hopefully not ever, because I don't tend to tighten down my pivot that much. So, but my God, they tightened the hell out of everything. Did they use Loctite? It doesn't look like it, but geez, they torqued down all the screws. So, there goes that. And take this boy and put him over here safely. And we are going to dump the bearings and go to Skiff, because I am a Skiff whore. And I need Skiff bearings in my Hinderer knives like I need a hole in my head. So, this is the kind that you're going to need. That's what you're going to need. That's what you're going to need. Okay. Take the rest of these off. So the Hinderer Eklipse is a wonderful knife in my personal opinion. As far as ergonomics go, it's almost the best. I think if all you care about is ergonomics, then you want a Hinderer Jurassic, because in my not so humble opinion, the Hinderer Jurassic has the very best sheer ergonomics out of all the Hinderer knives. It just fits so perfect, at least for me. I mean, we can talk about how ugly it looks, and that's valid, but I think if all you care about is it fitting in the hand properly, then that knife is the one. Okay. Let's get this out of here. We're going to break this thing all the way down with the exception of the lock bar stabilizer and the lock bar insert. I don't see any reason to take those apart unless you suspect that there's a problem. Okay. Now, Slip 2725. That's this stuff right here. That's what I use to clean all my knives, all my guns. This stuff will strip out all manner of oils and reduce everything to a clean, if overly dry, state. So you definitely need to re-lubricate important parts after you take this stuff to it, because it'll dry it out and leave you with parts that ought to be have corrosion resistant properties reapplied to it. Let's just put it that way. But then I'm overzealous anyway. I tend to do things to my knife. I don't even know why I'm using this. I'm going to dump that anyway and go to a different one. And I'm not going to save this because we're doing a different scale. But I tend to overcare for my knives and do things that are, I will admit, are just plainly unnecessary. But that's me. Okay. Now, this... I forgot to take one of the torques out. So we'll just go ahead and wipe these off. The screws I'm not super worried about because they're titanium, so I'm just going to kind of get them wet with this 725. I'm not even really going to be all that careful about it because this knife is going to be a user, and so if stuff gets a little scratched up, I'm not super worried about it. Okay, just get some of the gunk out of there. Now, what do we do next? I guess AeroShell. I've been going back and forth between this and Slip 2000 EWG for things like the detent path is particularly where I like to put grease rather than oil because grease has more staying power. So, AeroShell there for you. And what I'm going to do is this goes right along the known detent path, and it won't just like run off into unnecessary places. It's going to stay put. It might be messier, and you might need to wipe off the excess, but what stays is going to stay. So there's that. Now I'm going to use ALG Go Juice to lubricate everything else. And that's in this bottle right here. So I'm going to lubricate the spot where the bearings go. That might be unnecessary, and I might be overdoing it, but it's my knife. If you don't like it, then you do what you want. There was one guy who was bitching at me because I was putting lubrication like right here where the standoffs go and the Chicago screws and stuff like on an XM18. And he was bitching at me that I was doing it here because he's just like, what's the point? I'm like, dude, you take care of your knife the way you want, and I'll take care of mine the way I want. And if you don't like it, well, call the police. I really do not care what you think is useless or not useless. That is the beauty of being me, is that I don't have to give a damn what you think. If you don't like it, well, then don't do it that way. So there's that. Put the blade back on. And then lubricate the bearing path again on both sides with the Skiff Bearings. These, because they have more balls, will tend to stabilize the movement more. It makes it smoother and it makes it a little bit more stable. Does it matter that much? No. I'm just bougie, and if I'm using a bougie knife anyway, well then I may as well really make it worth it. This is not attached to anything, but it really doesn't matter right now. I'm doing the stupidest thing, pointing this knife directly at me. Do not do that. But I'm trying to hold these standoffs in because they'll fall out otherwise. One of the things about Hinderer knives is they love to just fall apart when everything is loose. Wonderful stuff from Rick Hinderer Knives. Like, the quality control has gotten so fantastic, and they're now reliably in stock. Like, you can pretty much count on being able to find a Hinderer knife of some variety or another all the time. It seems like they're doing much longer runs of different styles. Like, at the time this is being recorded, they're really binging on sheep's foot production because I guess it's that time of the year. And it's good stuff. Really good stuff from Rick Hinderer Knives. There was a time when you didn't used to be able to count on them having great quality control or always having something in stock, but I think they have pretty much prioritized constantly having something to offer. There we go. Close that slightly. Everything seems to pop into place with Hinderer knives better if you close the knife just ever so slightly. And then this is the new Eclipse scale that I'm going to put on it. This is a Hinderer scale, of course, and this is in dark forest green. Normally, I'm really not a fan of green scales because I'm active duty Air Force, and so I'm seeing OD green and coyote brown and flat dark earth just everywhere, and it pisses me off. Well, this is a green I can deal with because it's more of a dark forest green that doesn't scream military to me. It's just kind of one of those things. Coyote brown body armor, coyote brown boots, coyote brown backpacks, just everywhere. Sustainment pouches and other equipment where it's just like all coyote brown. It's just like, oh, please. Can I have something red, or purple? At this point, I don't even care. I just don't want to see coyote brown anymore. But, yeah. Okay. We are putting the pivot back on this thing, which is tight as hell. So, come on. Okay. Now, and we got a knife that's dead center already. So, see, that's what I'm talking about with quality control. Hinderer knives are meant to be field adjusted and taken apart by the user. They are designed for you to do that. And they've gotten to where they're so good at making a knife that you can just take apart and adjust on your own that it's kind of ridiculous how good a quality it is. Oh my God, that action is butter. People at work who see this are gonna laugh at me for that because they like love giving me crap about calling stuff butter, but the smoothness, man, I'm telling you, butter. And it's so satisfying. Okay. Next, what do we got? We have a Lynch Northwest machined pocket clip. This is a deep carry pocket clip that is significantly higher quality maybe than it needs to be. These are not cheap. They're like $75. But that's because they are machined from one piece of titanium. So when it comes to a deep carry pocket clip, that's about as good a quality as you're going to get. So there's that. Now this one, and where'd you go? Right here. I'll close this just for good measure. Go to the Phillips screws. Awesome. Well, I want to sincerely thank Hinderer, if they ever happen to watch this, for helping me out with this thing, because I'm going to get a lifetime of great use out of this. And yeah, I was screwed over by the dude who sold it to me. Like, you got to be careful who you buy from, especially on eBay. Like when you're buying a used knife, make sure that I've bought a lot of knives used on eBay and they turned out to be exactly what they were supposed to be. But you do have to make sure that, the person you're buying from has really good reviews, and make sure that they've sold a lot of stuff to other people before. I will not buy stuff on eBay from somebody who's never sold something before, or they don't have a rich history of selling things on eBay. It's just like, sorry, dude, I don't trust you. Sell a bunch of stuff to somebody else and build up a reputation. And I kind of suspended that expectation for 1 minute, and this is exactly what happened. So, but here we go. This is my new to me Hinderer Eklipse. It's got new... Actually, I'm going to take some LPS2 for the blade, because this is what I do with every knife, is the blade needs a good coating of LPS2 for just that extra little bit of corrosion prevention. Is it unnecessary? No. But again, if you don't like it, well, call the police. And then you can even rub it on your G10, and it will take that sort of dried out, where it starts to look almost white in some places. You can take that, and it will take that dried out sort of white, faded. It looks faded, and what you can do is you can take something like LPS2 and put it on the G10, and it won't stay looking perfect forever, but it will not have that dried out, faded look for literally months. It will look fantastic for quite a while, and then by the time you take it apart again, it needs a new coating of it, and then it looks like $1 million. So here you have it. Hinderer Eklipse Swedge with a new blade, a new G10 scale, a new pocket clip, new bearings, and a slightly battered titanium side. This is it's almost like a car, or like a Chevy K20 or something like that, that's been knocked around a lot, but the engine and the transmission are still going, and it drives down the road without any trouble at all. It's got character. Let's put it that way. Okay, there you have it. Questions, comments, put them in the comment section of the video. Otherwise, this is Ben from Ben's Blades telling you, be safe, carry a knife everywhere you legally can. I'll catch you later.